Hello and welcome. Shipments of active pharmaceutical ingredients or API or raw material for drugs or key starting materials as they're called that go into the making of these APIs have been stuck at Indian ports as customs authorities have delayed clearances. Now, three major ports and airports in Maharashtra and Delhi have been affected. Now, remember that India imports almost $3.5 billion of bulk drugs from China, and 65% of our total pharmaceutical raw material inputs come from China, where obviously there are problems and concerns. Now, the question is, if this continues in this present form, what happens to the downstream supply and manufacture of goods, not just for the domestic market, and which includes consumers like you and me, but also for exports where India is pretty big. So to discuss this, I'm joined by Dara Patel, the Secretary General of the Indian Drug Manufacturers Association. Mr. Patel, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure being with you, Govind. Thank you. Tell me.
Right. So we import more than $3.5 billion of raw materials for the pharmaceutical industry. And we in turn export, if I understand right, almost $2 billion of drugs every year. Now, the imports are more than 65% of our requirements.
Exports? Sorry. Our exports are much more.
Per month.
Exports are per month, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. So our total requirement, almost 65% or more is met by Chinese imports. So that's the background. So the question now is, what are the substitutes and how do we find our way around it? So the first question, Mr. Patel, is what is the extent of the problem right now?
I don't think there's a very major issue, except that there is a little delay of clearing of certain consignments since the last 8 days. Now, we don't have anything in writing, nor any ministry has informed us, nor the customs people are telling us why it is being delayed. But newspaper reports tell us, and some of the clearing agents tell us, that there was some rumor that China is trying to pump in some narcotic products illegally, unauthorized way, through these raw materials that we import from them. And that's why the government wants to be very, very cautious. And they want to do some sort of a physical inspection before clearing the consignments. So what is happening is that our people are there almost 12 and 18 hours waiting at the customs, and very few consignments have started getting cleared since the last one day, since yesterday. And we are told that in the next 2-3 days, things should improve.
Right. Okay. So this is where it stands, because obviously everyone has now protested and talked about it. Things have resumed at the ports. Now, what is the medium to long-term outlook, Mr. Patel? So since our dependence is so high on Chinese imports, perhaps for strategic reasons we want to shift. What happens then?
We don't see the light in the day coming out immediately. I don't think we will be able to become self-reliant in the next 6 months or so, chemical synthesis type of raw materials. But for the fermentation-based products, in order to become self-reliant and with the government support, I'll come back to you on that later, we should not take anything else.
So by fermentation, do you mean drugs like penicillin?
Yeah. So wherever you use a fermentation process, it's long. It will take at least 3 years for us to become self-reliant.
Right. So now, one is, of course, that we become self-reliant in all these raw materials, but the other is we could import from other countries, or is that not an option?
I don't think so, because we've been using Chinese material. We'll have to see how those materials are, that's first. Whether it is economical, because, our industry is highly regulated and price controls are there, which are at times quite draconian. So we can't just switch over to any other country whose prices will be much higher than what China is giving. No doubt, even China has increased their prices now in the last 3-4 months from all. But we need time, we can't just suddenly switch overnight. So government will have to understand that. We don't know what their ultimate objective is in doing this, or if at all it has happened due to government reasons or whatever. But as of now, we need material from China and we have no choice but to wait and watch what we are supposed to do. Fortunately, the government has now come up with a production-linked incentive scheme whereby they are going to give almost earmark something like 6,000 to 8,000 crores of rupees. And there are, of course, several procedures that are to be followed. And this depends on what you want to do. If there is an existing supplier who wants to increase capacity, he will also be supported. Or if there is a new product or a new plant you want to come out with, the government will support that also. So we will be self-reliant within a year to 3 years period. But as of now,
and that's good to hear. But this self-reliance, to what extent? So suppose if we are saying 65% of our requirements are from China, to what extent could we be self-reliant in the next 1 year?
I don't think we should be dependent on them more than 20% or so, 20-25%, which we should be able to manage somehow or get it from some other country. You know, but in 3 years' time, there should be a total change of strategy, and we will be totally self-reliant as far as China is concerned. We might opt for some other countries or whatever.
Right. Okay. Now, tell us about how is this affecting the manufacture of drugs right now? Even this delay, I'm assuming, is causing a supply chain problem, and things must be getting held up or delayed in the final production process.
You see, as of now, you should be knowing that we have at least a 40-45 days stock on hand of finished products, between the company, between the CNF agents and the pharmacies, the retailers. So there is no immediate panic. But yes, if the material which is now lying in the customs is not cleared in the next, say, 5 to 8 days, there might be some hiccups and we might run into shortage of some products at least. That can happen.
And what would those products be? I mean, for instance, I read that heparin, which is a blood thinner for clots, is one drug which could be affected.
There could be paracetamol-based products. There could be some antibiotics. And there could be some vitamins, and all sorts of raw materials which we are totally dependent on them. Because we, as of now, because of this COVID situation, very few companies are running on 100% capacity utilization. By and large, they are running only 60-70%. So there itself, we have a little shortfall. Now, if this material is not cleared, by the time it reaches the factory churns out the material, it goes out of the factory, goes to the CNF agent, then goes to the retailer. It's going to be a little touch and go sort of a situation. So we only hope.
Right, that really was my next question actually. But and how would you compare the production and output levels today for the industry broadly versus, let's say, April, May, when the lockdown was at its peak?
It's very comfortable as of now, though not totally 100%, because only big companies, who are able to manage transporting their people, giving them food, making arrangement for their stay nearby. These companies are able to function 90 to 100%. But by and large, the small and medium are not able to come up beyond 70%. But of course, as you said, in April, May, it was quite concerned. It was a concerning situation. We were not having more than, say, about 20 to 30% labor utilization, and capacity utilization almost the same, 20-30%. Now we've come up to almost 60 to 70%. Because it's not just the raw materials for pharma, it's also the ancillary. It's also the packaging materials, the chemicals, the testing agents, and so many other things which we need.
Right. So you mentioned prices and cost, and obviously costs have been rising regardless. And this is another factor, which is, the delay in shipments and so on. But assuming, let's say, we were to shift production into India, and as you said, we achieve up to, almost more than 50% self-sufficiency or bring it down to 20%. Now, how could that impact the cost to me as a consumer or as a final consumer of these medicines?
We'll have to wait and watch because, earlier we were manufacturing bulk drugs. We were self-sufficient. But then China started manufacturing at low cost with government support. All that is now history, of course. Everybody knows about it. So we may not be able to match that price. We don't know how much this government support with this new scheme for APIs will be able to manufacture, but at least we'll be self-reliant. And government surely will understand that our purpose is to be self-reliant and then also be competitive. Just because we are making in-house doesn't mean we can charge anything. So then obviously the users of raw materials, the formulation manufacturers, they might also have a second thought where to get it from. So it's a gamut of so many things together, you know. But I'm very confident that in the next 1 year, things will be very clear whether we are able to manufacture at competitive prices or not. Now, if it is say 10% here and there or 5%, I'm sure people should understand. But ultimately, you are like a war-like situation with China. It's not just the physical war, but say tomorrow they decide not to supply to you. What happens? It's worse than a war. So at least to that extent, you are protected. So they must work together. The formulation manufacturers should work together with the government and the API manufacturer and ensure that we are self-reliant first and then competitive. But yes, being competitive is definitely going to be important. Certainly.
Right. And importantly, as you said, we can do it pretty quickly. Last question, Mr. Patel. So we also touched upon exports. Now, India is a large exporter to other countries, and that obviously provides and feeds the Indian economy itself, including the pharmaceutical manufacturers and that economy. So how are you looking at that? And could we continue to hold our position as a large manufacturer exporter?
Yes, we might have a temporary problem as of now because of this Chinese raw materials not coming in or coming in and being delayed in clearing or coming in at higher prices. But once we become self-reliant, I don't think our export market will be shaken up. In fact, despite this situation today of lockdowns and COVID situation, our exports are doing pretty well. So, and we better do it because that's our mainstay. You know, today there are so many of our manufacturers who are only into exports. There are so many who are having a majority of their turnover in exports. So that is going to be the main target for us, exports, certainly. And it won't be affected. I'm pretty sure we'll continue doing well in exports.
Right. That's good to hear again. Mr. Patel, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Pleasure. Thank you. Stay well, stay safe. All the best.
You too. Thank you so much.